Welcome everybody back to Mashinky. I am KRX and we are getting a rather successful transportation company up and going right now in era 1 of this game, which will have 7 eras on its release later in 2020. Right now there are 6 eras in the game, and every era sort of adds new industries and mechanics and things to deliver and stuff to do and things to build, which is really neat. We have set up for Era 1, we have set up logs being moved to the sawmill, and also the planks produced at the sawmill being moved to the toolworks, so that we can get a large amount, actually, of sort of wood coming in here. Time to progress. Build at least 3 station extensions. Okay, we can do that. We can do that. And then also we are making coal over here. Or moving coal, I should say. We're moving coal to the toolworks and getting coal currency by doing those deliveries there with this train. It's a very short line over here. That's why we don't really need more trains, but it does seem like there's a little bit of an accumulation here. I think replacing this with a Baldwin probably would make a lot of sense. Probably would work out pretty well. We do have a quest over here to set up for deforestation, to set up a route between the Anchorage forest here and this, it doesn't tell us we have to go to that sawmill, but I think that sawmill would be a good location. It's also one of the closest, but it's also like a special sawmill that's going to give us a better ratio of sort of end currency. And I kind of like the idea of doing that. One of the issues we have here is that this forest is like up in the mountains, like holy cow. If we were going to do this, we would have to like flatten here. I don't want to destroy the natural beauty of this area, but yeah, this is kind of interesting to me to see how are we going to actually get down this hill. How are we going to get down this hill? Well, it seems like we're moving through there pretty cleanly. Yeah, I don't think it's going to like that that incline there at all. I think we might need to kind of do a little bit of work here to flatten out a path. See that little slope right there? It's a little steep. It's a little steep. We kind of need to bring that. Well, how do we do this? There we go. We kind of smooth that a bit. So let's make sure we draw these out just a touch. Whoops, whoops. Undo, undo. I don't want to lose track of the hills that we have, the slopage that we have here. But I want to extend these just a touch. It's a little janky here. It's a little janky here, but I think we have a way down. Dang, that cost us like all our money, which is kind of funny. But luckily we're making good money, right? We have that very successful line. I just kind of wanted to do this just for the kind of the fun of it a little bit, of seeing if we could get this going and if it could look good. That's maybe going to be the harder part, is making it look good. Once it's down here in the valley, it looks like it'll be totally fine. Looks like it won't have any issues. As long as you're not building through a forest or, doing a lot of terraforming, you can actually build rail pretty cheap. But again, slithering through avoiding forests and hills does make a big difference on the cost. that's like, I mean, that's like 50 going through that forest, right? Here it's just like 15 or 20 for the same, for even a longer distance. So that does make a big difference. If we look at this, oof, full on roller coaster ride over here. But there we go. There we go. We do need a depot, of course. Let's shrink that down just a touch. Let's get a Baldwin, because we're going to need that extra torque probably to get up that hill. I could totally see us actually sticking on a coal thing for in the future, modifying this to be able to move a little bit of coal, but I think right now we're going to be okay with this. For the most part, I think we could just hit start and it'll just go. It kind of just knows what it needs to do. It needs to get to there, and then it needs to go to there. The game is actually pretty clever. If you set a depot up and you build a train connected to a line, and there's things that can be delivered, it has the right wagons for a job, it kind of knows what it needs to do. It kind of knows what it needs to do. So hopefully we'll be able to get that deforestation quest done, and that'll pay us back $300. We ended up spending like 1,000 trying to terraform this area. It's kind of cool that we have this thing up, this forest up here in the mountains. I kind of like that. That's a little bit of a goofy sort of decline down, but maybe we can smooth that out once we get really rich. But there we go. We're getting some more log income down here, and we've seen how log income is useful for a number of things, including building the Baldwins and some of the better wagons and stuff. We can get to the next era, guys. Let's go. Let's not waste any time with that. Finishing a bunch of quests there. Bunch of quests. Build at least 3 station extensions. Where, you know what? Actually, let's do that right after we move to the next era. We can invest in wood. We were doing this in 1927. We are killing it. Let's go. There we go. The world just evolved. Let's pause the game and take it. Well, actually, let's go slow. Let's just keep it slow. But we are now in the Steam age. And now we have to worry about a new type of currency. Sort of the iron currency. Eventually, we're actually going to have to make steel. But this is just sort of a weaker steel or an iron. And we can see post. We now have post accumulating at these stops. But the interesting thing here is the post offices, there's only post offices in Atlanta and in Vegas. We might actually need to send a line going the other direction to deliver post. And then the post could go up there. That could actually be kind of cool. That could be kind of cool. We have post offices in the middle. Oh, small town over here. Newark with the post office. We got iron mines popping up over here, right? To generate iron. That's going to be used to make with coal at the foundry, for example, here. So we could do 2 + 2 gives us 2 and 1, or we do 3 and 3 gives us 3 and 2. A little bit better coal ratio here, and an equivalent iron ratio. So actually, this top one's better if we get, but it just kind of takes what it takes. It takes what it can get, and just processes. But if it's going to take the more favorable one initially. So there you go. We have foundries. We have, and actually now the foundry is how we make this. But how do we get the actual currency, right? Well, if we shove it into a tool works, we can actually start to make the iron currency now, which is kind of neat. Scottsdale's popped up. We still have, we have another town in here, I think. Winston, I think, is a new, right? Because we had Austin. We had this line here, but it looks like, there's another town over here, right? Albuquerque's joining up there. Very neat. I don't see any new towns specifically around our loop here, though, that we need to set up. But I still really like the idea. What we could do is we could set up the post. We could set up the post back here and just get this sort of situated going back and forth here. What I think we're going to do for this is probably just have a very small sort of station. Whoops. I keep building the bus station instead of the train station. I'm going to shrink that down a bit. I don't think it's as important. It doesn't need to be a huge train. So let's get these hooked up. Now, what would be kind of cool is if we could use the same depot. That would be kind of neat. How would we do that? Would it let us sort of pinch through here? Let's see if we can wiggle out of here a train. Let's see if we can get a train going here. So what we do need to do is we need to go to station 3 and say, do not accept mail. Okay. Do not accept the mail. Over here, do not accept the mail. So we want all the mail to be accumulating. We want all the mail to be going to station, and do not, here we want to say do not accept people. Do not accept people. Here it's saying there's just mail. So that's fine. We're out of range of the people. Man, I actually kind of want to like see if we can get us in range of the. I don't want it to. Don't want this town to grow and people start to accumulate there. If we notice that, we'll have to fix that. We could probably go in with like a really cheap engine for this. We have the new T84 Class 65. This thing is a huge upgrade. It's a faster train, significantly more horsepower, way more torque, costs coal, right? So now that we're generating coal, that's good because we're going to have to start using the coal. But I think just a little porter probably would be fine. Actually, what's the advantage of using the Prussian T3? It's small, it's lightweight? I don't know. Maybe just the size and the weight of it? It's got a low speed. It might have more, that might give it more acceleration. You know, let's do this just for fun. It's a more expensive train. There's got to be some point to it. I think that's probably going to be enough. That's going to be 28. That'll be, well, if we do one more, that'll be 35 things of mail between two cities just back and forth. I don't know if we're going to be generating that much mail. Here, let's just make sure all the, like, nothing related to mail here. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be generating this much mail. I'm going to sell one of these, and then we'll just send it off like this. So let's make sure that we give it specific orders, because I don't want this like going off on its own, but it does seem to be smart enough to kind of know what's going on. There we go. Start this train up. Oh, see, we got train coming through here. Hold on, it's red, so it's not going to be able to go. Once this guy clears that area there, it should be able to go. Yep, now you can go. That's going to stop any train down here. There we go. We're good to go. I think it can go back and forth now. 28 things of mail can pick that up. It's got 45 bucks on board. Let's go. Over here we have 28 things of mail soon to have. 62 people accumulating at this station here. 70 people coming in on this train. These towns have grown. These towns have grown. And the money's going to start coming in, I think. Let's load this thing up. Let's go. Let's get these people delivered. This is good. This is good. Nice. Those trains are moving in unison there. Love it. Love it. Perfect. Let's go. That is working. We have mail delivery. I kind of want to set this. We talked about having a line, right? That goes all the way through all these towns here. Richmond, Lincoln, actually Richmond to Albuquerque to Lincoln to Baltimore to Austin to Winston. Holy cow, to New Orleans. That could be an insane route. And then we could actually try to connect up a sort of a go-between here as well between like a central, like Baltimore and North Las Vegas. That could be insane. So it'd be a very expensive project, but it's also telling us to start delivering, deliver to any foundry, right? It's starting to set up a foundry. Log processing. Full capacity? Are we doing full capacity? Here, let's do, let's see if we can do this. Oh, to any one sawmill in 1 year. I don't know if this is getting... I don't know if we're getting that many things delivered in 1 year or not. Over here. Looks like we're running out of wood here. Let's actually go here and let's actually grow this with a tree nursery so that this has a little bit more wood income, so that we're making sure that these trains are full. Because is this train full or not? It's not full. It's only not full by about 25%. We increased the output by 50%. That should be good. Should be good. Yeah, that might fail, but I don't think there's any issue with that. This deforestation, we're using that. We're moving along on that. Moving and grooving there. That's good. We finished that quest to extend. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we got it. We don't need to use stamps. Thanks. Actually, can I... Oh, wait a second. Yeah, let's refuse the stamp thing. We don't need to see that anymore. Okay, so what we wanted to set up, though, right, was potentially a large line. I don't know. Or should we just do the coal? Dang, this is a foundry right here. There's an iron mine right here. That's actually... There's coal mines everywhere. This would be incredibly easy to set up. We could probably even double off of this. We could probably even utilize this. Yeah. That's actually kind of cool. We could just piggyback off of that depot. I like it. Yeah, let's, you know, we see such a great opportunity here. Let's get the foundry going. However, the coal mine seems to be in the middle of a field. So is it going to cost us money to do that? We actually sort of be... Oh man, I wish we could be like right on the edge of that. What if we came right out of the field? That could look kind of cool. Actually, look at the angle here. Look at the angle. I think we want to be more back a ways. Okay, because this is gonna... We might have actually kind of messed that up a little bit. We might need to do this one instead. That looks pretty clean. So here's the button right here to remove track. I actually didn't see that right away, because if you try to do it with the bulldozer, it gets rid of everything on the square. It's kind of goofy, right? So the remove track button is really kind of handy there when you're just trying to remove the track. This will be the one that heads... That's going to be a little bit of a shaky bit there, but... Probably have this go straight, mostly. There we go. Right on the edge of that field. That'll look good. That'll look good. Going through the wheat field there. So that is actually going to be coal getting delivered to the foundry. And then that is actually going to be iron getting delivered to the foundry. And then presumably we'll want something... we could just do another station entirely, because that's going to have to get moved to a toolworks, right? Which, now that I'm looking at it, there's not really a toolworks near this location. That's such a great place for sort of setting up the foundry. This foundry only gets us coal currency. It doesn't really get us... it doesn't really get us any iron currency, right? We're still going to have to set that up. Which I think will basically, you know, could just sort of head off that way and hopefully hook up with like this place over here, I guess, right? It's kind of a ways off, but let's at least get the but what we can do is, if we have this, we can use this as a point at which we can run another line here, and this will be where the depot goes. It is not liking that diagonal. Oh, it actually left that too. Let's get rid of that. I don't like the way that looks. Okay, that'll be good. There we go. So those lines are now hooked up. So when we put a depot here, put it in the forest. How does that look in the forest? That looks good. That looks good. I like it. So we can now set up a train to be able to go between Station 18, Station 17, and deliver coal. So that's going to need to be a coal train for coal. And actually, we are going to be producing more coal, right? So we might as well use this new... we have the wood as well, so let's get a nice, like, super beefy engine on this. Because the more coal, it's going to pay for itself, right? Basically, by moving a lot of that coal. So we can get 6 of those on this thing. Let's start it up. We don't have to put the orders here because, again, it's smart enough to know what's going on, but I'm just going to add them just in case something goes haywire. Let's add these signal blocks here, so people know that the trains that are coming out of the depot know that these are separate systems. That looks really good like that. Again, we'll need signals for similar. Similar reasons and things. Once this depot gets connected into here, this station is just going to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. That is such a short trip. That is such a short trip right there, to be honest. Little goofy, little goofy. And the other kind of interesting thing about this is we have 6 of these, right? So that's 9 times 6, 56 coal being moved back and forth each time. This is a shorter trip. Maybe we just do 4 of these, and that'll be 48 iron being moved back and forth. We can also edit these and sort of change these and stuff if need be. So I think I'm going to start that. And see how this goes. Let's see if we can successfully get some iron being moved here. And maybe even sort of the rate. You know, it actually would probably be worth going in here and adding a station extension for the loading, since it seems like one of the limiting aspects is going to be loading speed for getting this back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But there we go. We're making coal currency. Making a lot more coal currency. It doesn't quite seem like it's a full 2 trips per one because this does take a while to accelerate, right? It seems to have a lower acceleration. So we'll see if this, I mean, it actually looks like the coal train is keeping up. In fact, the coal train, one of the issues with it, we're not producing enough coal. We're just straight up not producing enough coal. We need a maintenance shed here. Stat. Which will double the amount of coal production. So now we're making more coal there. In fact, we might need to extend this. This will increase it by 50%. It's just money. We have money for days. Let's add an office. So it'll be 50% more iron getting there. Yeah. We could probably even do the extended storage. Eventually, we'll really want the second head frame here. That does require some iron currency, which we haven't actually started generating yet. We don't need this station to be accumulating the iron, right? The iron needs to be accumulating here at this station. But there we go. It seems to be working, but we're not delivering full loads. We have finished that quest there for a little extra money. Okay, we now have a quest, ruined church. If we can deliver some wood and some of the beams that we're making, if we can deliver those to Richmond, we can actually upgrade this ruined church, which we can see how churches produce a huge amount of people, right? So this will actually get Richmond to be a significantly more booming place, actually. And we want Richmond to be sort of an anchor on this sort of line that's going to be going up in here and then back and stuff, which is kind of cool. So we are definitely going to want to do that. We are definitely going to want to do that. It looks like for the most part, we're making the iron beams, right? We're making the iron beams, but what we're not doing yet is we're clearly not making enough iron over here at the iron mine, but also, which we might need to just hook up another one into that foundry, right? But also, we're not actually moving these iron beams to a destination that can process them and utilize them. Like over here, it shows that we can move 3 of those to get 1 currency. So that'll be sort of setting up this currency for this second era. Guys, thanks everybody for hanging out. Thanks everybody for hanging out for some Mashinky gameplay, taking a look at the early access state of the game here in sort of mid to later 2020. It is going to be probably releasing later this year with the final era. Right now there are 6 eras in the game. If you guys have any questions, please ask down below in the comments and we will get to those for sure. Yeah, see, it looks like the coal train's doing a good job, right? It's mostly full, but we're not producing enough iron to fill this up. We need like twice as much iron production, which we would get if we did extended storage combined with the second head frame here. We would have it. We would have it. But that's all moot right now because we're not even using all the beams here. So, but thanks everybody for hanging out, and I will see you guys in the next episode as we continue to sort of advance and explore the different aspects of Mashinky and the things that it has to offer. Thanks everybody for being here. I will see you guys in the next episode.